Hey guys, today we continue along with our theory lessons and specifically chords and what chords to play so that you stay in key. And the last lesson we did basic major and minor chords, and today we are going to handle the 7 chords. So for this lesson, I'm assuming that you already know which scale degrees have major and minor chords. We talked about that before, the 1, 4, and 5, and I'll include a link to that lesson if you haven't seen it or you need to refresh on that. And I'm also assuming you know your basic major and minor scale, understand the modes and all that, and I'll include a link for that as well in case you don't know it. We have a whole series on that. So all that said, the last thing I'm assuming is that you know how to play 7 chords. You have a major 7 chord, a minor 7 chord, and the dominant 7, or just often referred to as a 7 chord. And so the question here is, which 7 chord do I play in any given situation? Is it a major, minor? How do I make sure I'm staying in the key so I don't have notes that sound sour, or if I'm improvising with other people, I play a background that makes what they're playing sound sour. So these are the situations in which you don't kind of want to break the rules and you want to stay in key. And today we're going to talk about that. Now again, as a bit of quick review here, we remember that chords are made up of, the basic chords are made up of 1s, 3s, and 5s. So I'm working in the key of G major like I do for convenience in all of the theory videos. And so my basic G major chord is the 1st G, the 3rd B, and the 5th D. So it's all G's, B's, and D's. And so when we're adding the 7th, we're just going up to the 7th scale degree and adding that note into the chord too. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 brings me to F sharp. And then you have your G major 7 chord, which would be G's, B's, D's, and F sharps. Or here if you prefer this. So then what we're doing is just a quick exploration of whether or not you've got that major or minor 7th mixed with the chords that you already know. Now from the last lesson, we talked about all your major chords fall on the 1st, 4th, and 5th degree of the major scale. So if I'm in the key of G and I'm playing a song, if I play a G, it's a G major. If I play a C, which is the 4th degree, it's a C major. A D, the 5th degree, is a D major. So those are my 3 major chords. My minors then are the 2, 3, and 6, which is A, B, and E minor. And then of course the 7th is that diminished tritone, the F sharp, which we'll talk about later. So very quickly, it's just a matter of whether those major or minor chords mix with a major or minor 7th. And for the most part, they just line right up. So I'm going to go through this kind of quickly here rather than breaking them all down in minutia and boring you to death. So obviously, as we just said, the 1st is a major 7. When we get to the 2nd, it is a minor chord. It's either going to be a minor chord with a major 7th or a minor 7th. The major 7th in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, is a G sharp. Obviously, G sharp is not in the key of G. It's a G, so our 2nd is a minor 7th. Or if you want to play it here, we go to a 3rd scale degree in this key. And we go through the same process again, which leads us to find out that it is also a minor 7th chord. So as we're building here, you start with major 7 on the 1, minor 7 on the 2, minor 7 on the 3. We get to the 4, which is a major chord, and we find out it is also a major 7th scale degree. Here that fits the note B, so we have a major 7. We get to the 5th, and this is the one that's a little bit different because it's a major chord, but it has a minor 7th in it. It's the note C in this key. So you end up with the dominant 7 or just 7 chord. Or you can play it here if you want. So now, quick review. Major 7, 1, minor 7, 2, minor 7, 3, major 7, 4, dominant 7, 5. When we get to the 6th, the relative minor, E minor, it is also a minor 7th, so it's a minor 7. So everything lines up with the basic 1, 4, 5 if you're thinking about major or minor 7s. The only exception here is the 5th, which you play the dominant 7 on. That's really all you need to remember if you're jamming and improvising, playing chords behind and you need to stay in key. Then of course on the 7th, where we have that diminished tritone, we have the flat 5 and the minor 3rd, and it works out to be a minor 7, which is in this key in E. And you have a minor 7 flat 5. So again, with all of these things, it's transposable. If I am in the key of, say, F major instead, and I'm jamming around and I'm writing chords and playing with people, and I want to play a couple minor 7 chords, they're on the 2, they're on the 6th. If I happen to go to the 5, I need to remember that 5 is the exception. I play the dominant 7, and then back to the major 7 on the 1. Just like with the majors and minors, 2, 3, and 6 are minor 7s. 1, 4, and 5, almost. 1, 4 major 7, 5 dominant 7, and then the diminished minor 7 flat 5 on the 7th. Simple enough. You'll always be in key. No one's going to sound bad, or at least it won't be your fault if they do. And that's it for the 7 chords. We'll do one more lesson on chords where we just talk about how you build all the other chords, sus4s and add 9s and all that, and how you make sure that you're picking the notes that are in the key and know what they look like. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I know I kind of went through this a bit quickly, but it's fairly simple stuff. It's just a matter of remembering which scale degree you're on. And as always, guys, until next time, keep making great music. Hey friends, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. It makes the whole world better.